Hello and welcome back to another video here with me, Meoni, this time to play a game that I've been very hyped for all this time, which is Trials of Mana, more specifically the demo, but we have news that this demo came out the other day and the saved games that you save during this demo will actually carry forth to the full release, which I have pre-ordered. I'm very hyped for this game. It is a remake of a game that I never fully completed, mostly because it was a hand-me-down, and of course that was Seiken Densetsu 3. It was an import copy that we had in our household. It didn't have translation. It was never officially originally released in the Western world with an English translation in any way, shape or form, which of course is very sad because we missed out on one of the most amazing games. I played a bit of this last year or the year before when I picked up the Mana collection, which had the Final Fantasy Adventure, Secret of Mana, and then Seiken Densetsu 3, which has now been rebranded as Trials of Mana in that with official English translation. I got halfway through the game and I pretty much didn't want to continue because as soon as I saw that they were announcing a 3D remake, I wanted to wait for that. Mostly because it's going to be fully voice acted, for the main characters at least, and the story segments. It's going to have cutscenes in it. It's a 3D rendered world. What's not to love? I'm all the hype. So here we are today, and we're going to first look at the options menu just to prove a point. You can play this game in either English or Japanese audio for people out there who don't like English voices because they might think they're cringy or over dramatized. Then you have that option, as well as English, French, German, Spanish, and Japanese text if you want to. And we have separate sliders for background music, for sound effects and character voices. Hopefully I've EQ'd this correctly today, but we're going to find out. And additionally, we also have a choice between the remastered, obviously remade music, the orchestrated version of the soundtrack that you're hearing in the background, and we have the original music as well. So if we wanted to, we could play through this game with the original sort of 16-bit music, which is always lovely to hear. But for this demo, we're going to play through with the remakes music with subtitles on and auto progression and all that gubbins. We can also change the animations and stuff like that, but I just wanted to show you that this does have a planned Japanese audio mode as well. We're not too bothered about the brightness settings here, but we are interested in the difficulty. We're not going to go for beginner because we're not a beginner here. We're not going to go for easy, which is basically just for people, as they say, who find action games hard, or we're going to go for normal, actually. Hard might be a bit too much for a playthrough, so we're going to go for a normal playthrough of this demo. So if you remember, in the old Final Fantasy games, usually you have characters that you encounter during the process of those games. In Trials of Mana or Seiken Densetsu 3 in particular that we're playing today, you choose a character at the start of the game. From here we have Duran, Angela, Kevin, Charlotte, Hawkeye, and we also have Riez as well, or Reese as I used to call her, as an option for your main character. You're choosing 3 characters. The first character is the one that you start the storyline of. The other 2 are the ones that you encounter along the way. Eventually you'll see all 6 characters unfold with their separate storylines, but primarily you're having 6 separate playthroughs of the game, which obviously increases the replayability. We're going to go for an Angela playthrough. She is a magic user, a ranged magic user in particular, using mass targeted spells, and hails from her home in Altena. So without further ado,
Princess of Altena.
Yep, and that's her voice line. She's basically a little bit of a preppy girl. She's a princess, very sheltered, and you will find out as we go. We're also going to pick Charlotte as our second companion, primarily because she deals with flails, so she's good at doing melee damage, but she also does healing and support magic, which unlocks later. That's our second choice.
Resident beauty of Wendel.
Yes, unfortunately, she pronounces her W's in every sentence, even if there isn't an R or a W present in the first place. And for a third character, I don't think it matters for this demo. We're going to choose Riez. Go for the all...
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. We're going to go for the all-female cast for our intro. Surprise, surprise. With all of the best characters there, obviously. And we're going to proceed, and it starts with Angela's storyline in Altena. So I believe this has some cutscenes and some intro, so I'm going to try and stay quiet during them, unless it's something I want to comment on. And that's how we're going to do this playthrough. It's probably going to be close to 2 hours of gameplay, but we'll try and get through it as quick as possible without skipping anything, because we want to give that full impression.
In Altena, the kingdom of magicians, the true queen's magic was all that kept the freezing temperatures of the surrounding snowy lands at bay. But as the mana of the world grew weaker, so did her power. Bit by bit, the ice and cold began to encroach on the castle.
Citizens, we all feel the magic draining from the land as mana weakens. For our mighty kingdom of Altena, this is of grave concern. We shall not sit idly while our country crumbles. No, we must open the forbidden portal to the sanctuary of mana, and then we can obtain the Sword of Mana.
I thought that we tried to
Be still. Legend says the portal to the Sanctuary of Mana only appears after activating the Mana Stones throughout the world. Obviously, no country would willingly give up a precious Mana Stone, so we expect a certain amount of resistance. We shall muster our strength and take the Mana Stones by force. Our true queen will obtain the Sword of Mana to rule her magic empire.
Long live the true queen! Glory to Altena!
Oof. Foreboding.
Oh, come on, Jose! Please?
Hush! No need to shout, Your Highness. Honestly, you know, I used to be the sharpest of the great magic users in the Altenish court.
Whoa, hang on! I do not need another trip down your winding memory lane. Just teach me the rest of yesterday's lesson.
I've told you time and time again, you cannot use magic simply by learning the steps. Your magic has not manifested because you rely on form instead of spirit.
Oh, please, not another lecture. Fine, I just won't ask for lessons anymore then. Take that.
You showed him.
Oh, this child.
Look, there's Victor. Hey, Victor! Hey!
Oh, morning, Your Highness. Have you finished your magic lessons already? You know Jose complains to me whenever you skip lessons, right? Please consider my plight next time, Your Highness.
Angela, princess and heir to the throne of Altena. With a heavy burden dogging her steps, Angela grew up fatherless in the shadow of her mother's royal duties. Her childhood was extremely lonely. Instead of affection from her mother, it seemed all she received were scoldings. Though she knew that the queen had important responsibilities that kept the two from playing, that knowledge didn't stop Angela's frustrated tears. Starved for attention, the princess grew into a rebellious youth. She often acted out, playing pranks on members of the court. Though Angela became a renowned beauty, much like her mother, she remained woefully unable to wield the magic power of her bloodline. That lack of talent was never far from her mind.
Ugh, I am so bored. Why does nothing ever happen around here?
And as if by magic, we're in this 3D rendered world. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at this. My goodness, this castle looks 10 times better in fully rendered, not flendered. Fully rendered 3D. What details has this in store? So, what do we have? We have the ability to attack with A. We can spam that. We have X, which we can hit a strong attack with, I believe. I think we can hold, yeah, we can hold that down for a charge attack, which lowers our movement speed, but allows us to deliver a big hit. And we have Y, which is our dodge roll. And we also have jump. Wow. Eee. Love that. That's adorable. So yeah, this is Angela. She's a bit of a brat, but mostly because she was never loved. Oh, we also have a dash if we hold down the left stick there. Awesome stuff. Let's get cracking with this. In this playthrough, we're not going to be talking to too many NPCs, just a few. Mostly because I don't want this to be too long of a playthrough. Like I said before, I don't want to overdo it a little bit. But ideally, usually in an RPG, I would play it by talking to everyone. Have you reconsidered taking magic lessons, Your Highness? No way. It's not like I've needed magic so far. Am I right? Toodles. So that's our response to him. Let's talk to this lady. Now, let's not attack the lady. Your Highness, Victor was searching for you. Victor, oh yeah, the blondie. Oh, hello, treasure chest. Nearly didn't see you there. Cup of Wishes. I think a Cup of Wishes is a Phoenix down. Yeah, and we access that menu with the up and down. Oh, we got moves down there as well that we'll get later. So what else have we got in this castle? Bunches of people to talk to and ooh, lots of set pieces with shiny items to collect. 10 lucre. That's the currency. We're not going to talk to everyone, mostly because they smell. They're mostly there to give backstory. Who are you? Good morning, Your Highness. And you say nothing? Okay. What about you, old lady? It's so hard to get supplies nowadays. There are so many monsters between Castle Altena and the port town of Elrond in the east. There we go. Foreshadowing of areas in the game that we can visit, no doubt. And what have we got behind this door? We have a statue. This is going to teach you how to save. Yeah, so gold ones allow you to restore health and mana as well as save. And silver only allow you to save. We're not going to save right now. It's been like 5 seconds. We have a character here. Good morning, Your Highness. Yes. I, by the way, love these outfits. I would love those to be in Final Fantasy XIV as like crossover glamour, if that was even possible. If it was a Secret of Mana or Trials of Mana crossover, that would make my year, probably my entire life. But yeah, those are quite cute. Oh my, I really see you here, Your Highness. May you become as powerful and as wonderful as a ruler as your mother. I'm going to talk to that person they smell. So we have little minimap icons telling us where to go. That wasn't in the original game, so these are objectives. On our HUD here, we have this beautiful big screen. Oh, we have an item that was hidden. Nearly missed that one as well. An item seed. Okie dokie. What does that do? It's not on our... Oh, it is. Recovers all allies' health by 50. That's pretty useful. Let's see. We cannot allow our magic to be less effective than a common sword. Stand back, Your Highness. The mages are practicing their magic. What about you? Ooh, mental boost. Awesome. What about you? ... Magic shield. So these are abilities that we'll see in the game later, no doubt. If I remember correctly. This, like I say, it isn't a game I've ever completed. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got about halfway through of the game before. Wow, look at these outdoor areas. Look at these bushes. Oh, they're adorable. Yeah, like I say, got about halfway through the game before. And that's about it. The true queen is able to keep Altena in perpetual spring, but the flowers seem to be wilting in the chill. Oh dear. Your Highness, you're looking lovely today. So are you with that purple hair and beautiful spring dress. What have we got here? We got a candy. I think that restores health. How much does that restore? That restores 200. That's pretty good. It's more than we've got currently. We've got 83 health. Dang. Let's see, what have we got here? More persons to talk to. Ah, we also have an item to pick up. Nearly missed you as well. 20 lucre. Lucra. These crystals are really nice. Look at those. Really, really nice set pieces with that spell effect as you walk around them. Beautiful. So what have you got to say? The true queen is in an important meeting. Isn't a meeting. She's not a meeting. Something about the fate of a kingdom or some such. The Crimson Wizard is with her, of course. I believe it's a war council. Well, what do we say to war? We'll leave that for later. I'm not interested in war. And the objective's telling us to go this way anyway. Let's see. Oh, we have to go in here again? Really? Okie dokie. I thought I'd talk to everybody here, but apparently not.
The Crimson Wizard is training the mages harder than ever. I heard some were injured, but I suppose that's one of the dangers of war.
I guess.
I'm not sure, but the Crimson Wizard might be as powerful as Her Majesty the Queen now.
I love that outfit.
Oh, there you are. Your Highness, the Queen and her advisor have called for you. I will wait for you in the gardens. Now is not the time to dawdle.
Please hurry, Your Highness.
Alright guys, nobody told me until now. No need to be all uppity about it. I'm sure it's not that important. Can't be. I'm just a ditzy princess. She doesn't give me attention usually. Why would she give it me now? Right, we'll talk to you a lot. Let's go talk to this guy. What's his name? Victor? Looks more like a Henry for some reason. I don't know why he looks like a Henry.
This is urgent. Her Majesty is preparing our troops to invade Valsena across the sea. You must go to her, Your Highness.
I hope I get to stab you later. That's all I'm going to say. Head to the throne room. On my way. Let me through. Please enter, Your Highness. Okie. Let's go and say hello to the Queen. Sorry, the true Queen. I'm not sure why she's the true Queen.
Your Majesty. I believe you sent for me?
Angela, allow me to explain. As you know, we must control the Mana Stones to gain access to the sanctuary. That is the reason for our invasion. Legend says if we activate the energy of the Mana Stones in the world, the portal will open. And we don't question legend. We shall begin with the Altenish Mana Stone.
How will you do that?
We will use a forbidden magic spell, outlawed because it takes the life of the enchanter in exchange for that mana energy. However, my associate and I are too important for this sacrifice. If we use your body as a vessel for that cursed magic, your death would act as the catalyst we need to release the Mana Stone's true power.
But Mother!
You've been a useless blight on my lineage for far too long. To think that my daughter could be so weak and powerless. Under these circumstances, sacrificing yourself for the spell is the most fitting end for my heir. Now come, my child.
No!
That's a big oof there, isn't it?
No!
Ooh, the controllers vibrate in this game. The more you know.
Gone.
I mean, I guess we learned how to use magic finally. When it counts. Is that, I suppose. Oh, look at that loading screen with a Rabbi jumping after the mushroom. The mush boom, I think they called in this game. Very adorable. And there we were, freezing our butt off in the snow. That outfit is not practical for this weather. Not at all. Not in the slightest. There's all sorts of things that would drop off in that ice. Oof.
Where? I'm outside the castle. But Why would my mother... I can't return, but I have no idea what to do now.
Well, clearly standing in the snow is a bad idea. Let's try and find somewhere warm.
To the east? That might be my only option at this point.
Yeah, very likely. Especially dressed like this. Just saying. It's a little bit skimpy. I mean, it's not as skimpy as the mages that we saw earlier, but pretty bad. Oh, look. So exploration is a big deal in these sorts of games, as you no doubt imagine. It's a 90s era RPG, or at least a remake of one. So yeah, there's going to be lots of shinies to look at, and this is beautiful. I love the music so far. The atmosphere is beautiful. Look at how open this is. Looks really, really good. They've nailed it so far. Cup of Wishes, so that's basically another Phoenix down. I doubt we're going to use that many things, honestly, but it's always nice to have them. I'm going to try and keep on the path as much as possible, but if there's lots of little items to collect, then we're going to go for them. Look at this. This is the first enemy. So this is a Sahagin, I believe. If you played FF before, you'll know all about the Sahagin. Well, this cute little guy is actually one from this game. So we've got a battle tutorial. A is a weak attack. Y is evade. Power attack, yeah, so literally as we said before, we've already learnt this. Hold X to do a charged attack. And then we need to collect particles to increase our CS gauge. Hold L and then press Y, so we have abilities here. And then she does double slash. Oh, look at that. Decimated. Beautiful.
I actually won. I think.
Well, you won a victory against the first mob of many hundreds of thousands. But yes, so the combat does actually feel really fluid. Oh, is that Rabbi? Oh, the only way I can possibly get around the cuteness of me defeating something so cute with a staff to the face and bludgeoning it to next year is the knowledge that this might be how the Square Enix store creates those plushies. I have one of them, but I'd like to believe that every time I kill one of these, somebody somewhere in the world gets a plushie version. And that's the only way I can deal with it. And that's the way I would love to live my belief throughout this playthrough. So we need to learn how to dodge roll a bit more. We're getting hit unnecessarily. A lot of this seems to be avoidable. The green elf pots, I believe, would restore health. Yes. Okay, that was a astute observation. You can lock on with the right stick by the looks of it, which allows you to get a much better camera angle. I believe you can toggle the right stick if there's multiple enemies to actually switch targets. We're nearly level 1 or level 2 already, which is pretty good. Let's defeat these Sahagin. Let's use that ability to double slash. That's what it's there for. You can go through a playthrough of games where you have special abilities and not use a single one. That would be a terrible idea. We hit level 2, which unlocks the ability to train our character. I'll have to look at that in a second. There we go. So we can press plus to bring up the menu. Wow, that is a nice looking menu. Jeez. We have items, which means we can assign stuff to the radial menu. As you can see there, that's pretty straightforward. We have all kinds of items. We have gear and stats, so we can equip items like traditional RPGs can. An equipping of abilities. We have a move section to equip spells, class abilities, locked abilities. Costumes, no doubt they'll add some DLC or maybe a pre-order bonus. I'm not sure if there is one. Or costumes for your characters. Then there's the training section, which allows us to put points into stats. And every time you do so, the more points you put into it gets new abilities. So as you can see, if we put 2 points into strength, we get strength plus 5, which would increase our base strength. We also have ones with symbols on them I think affect everybody in your party. I think they're called chain abilities, if I remember. Where you get 1 MP when a power attack is successful. That's reclaim. So yeah, you'd get 1 mana every time you hit with a powerful attack to everyone in your party. That does. That's pretty good. I think when it comes to Angela, we're going to be focusing on trying to unlock that Holy Bolt there, which requires 2 points. So we can put 1 in there already. So let's do that. And obviously we can put points into other characters when we get them. Strategy is a section where we can, if we're not actually controlling that character, we can assign them a bit like a license grid system or a gambit system in Final Fantasy XII, if you've played that, where you've got autonomous AI. Essentially, you can choose how that AI reacts, attacking weakened enemies or nearby enemies, for example, or the same target as the main character. The tactics would be basically how hard you attack, with no recovery and no defense choices. That one will basically mean only healing, they won't attack. So you've got a nice mix of stuff there. A balanced attack is usually quite helpful, but obviously we're controlling this character, and at the bottom we can customize that with how often they use moves, how often they use healing items, whether they leave any in the inventory or not, stuff like that. An adventure log, I believe, just has tooltips, sort of tips and adventures, and some story as well. I don't think there's a bestiary. There might be one later, but there's not one at the moment. So let's continue exploring. That's one of those gold ones, which allows you to save and restores health and mana. But we're not too bothered at the moment. We've not taken enough damage, even remotely. Just going to beat this Sahagin to death with no recourse. I don't believe we can go any further this way, no. So that's actually, because I've played a bit of the original game, I remember you can't go further that way. So it's a bit of a spoilery thing. I've played through some of this in the original game. It feels the same in terms of the layout, but I'm sure there's some things that have changed, and we have a jump button, which is going to change things significantly. Let's have a look off the beaten track just for a second. So there's items here, candy, will there be stuff hidden behind this tree? I can see one pot. Let's take care of this guy very quickly. Dodge roll behind him and punch him. There we go. We can restore our health. Get some XP as we go. Beat this Rabbi to death. Let's charge up an ability and unleash that. We do have nearly filled that meter, but I'd like to try out an AoE attack with that. It should be able to hit multiple targets. The next one, what we got in here? We've got chocolate. Chocolate restores 500 health. We'll probably never end up using that in this playthrough, or at least in the demo. So there's that. Let's dodge roll behind him. Dodge roll again. Make use of those iframes. There we go. Action combat at its finest. So it was worth going off the beaten path for that XP to fill up the bar. How do we escape from battle then? Do we just run away? Oh look, so there's a little symbol. You just push against the wall to escape. Well, there we go. That's how we get out of unwanted combat. Very cool. I like that. If they hadn't have included that, it wouldn't be faithful to the original. And so far, the game has been... Oh, you can't pick up items in combat. That's annoying. But that makes sense completely. So yeah, so far it's been very faithful to the original. I can imagine, though, there might be an opportunity to be pushed against that wall and accidentally leave combat. But there we go. So let's freeze to death together then in the snow. That's not a good place.
Cold. I can't take another step.
Yeah, we don't want to rest here.
I want to go home. Please, Mother. Please.
Yeah, I don't think your mother wants you anymore. Listen to that music. Ah, the original going to sleep music. Nice to hear that remastered, or at least reorchestrated. Beautiful. I'm going to just be having moments like that throughout the entire thing. Just nostalgia flooding back to you. But it's so much better. Oh, can't wait. Oh, we're in a warm bed. Wonder who saved us then. She sleeps with that hat on. Really?
Where am I?
It's glued to her head, isn't it? That's Angela's secret. Ah. Oh, that was a bit of an unusual straight cut. No fade there of the music. So there's lots of set pieces to describe areas then, to flesh them out. That's really nice. Again, these are all usually 2D images on a 3D background.
Oh, good. You're awake. My daughter found you in the snowfields. We brought you back to Ulrent. Oh, please rest until you feel well.
I'm getting a slight condescending tone from this woman. Might be just me.
woke up.
Yeah, definitely condescending.
Yay! Can I play with her? Huh? Can I?
Well, you're just adorable, aren't you?
No, don't bother her. But I'll play with you.
Run away, little girl. At that point, if anyone ever says that to you, run.
Yay!
Oof. Yes. That's right, Angela. That is the sound of family. Something which is a sore topic for her at the minute. Especially when your mother has just tried to kill you. Look at these set pieces, the wardrobes and stuff. No doubt these will be copy and pasted throughout the game in taverns and stuff, but it's really, really nice to look at. Like the moose on the wall there. Very nice. So yeah, traditional RPG fare exploration. Let's talk to NPCs. Not too many though. When's dinner? When you get it yourself, you old bag. That's how I would say it anyway. Oh, Grandma, she just had dinner. But she forgot already. How many dinners does one person need? I don't know, 12? Has she had second breakfast yet? That's the most important meal of the day, after all. Let's go out into the freezing cold.
I'll go for a walk to boost my mood.
Yes, there's nothing like fresh air of a freezing place you nearly died in due to hypothermia to get your mood improved, for sure. So there's a boat over here. No doubt we'll be catching that later. Foreboding or not. So yeah, 90s towns, like 90s RPG towns. They're usually 4 buildings in a square. It's nice to see they haven't changed that too much. But of course we can... Oh yeah, there's a day-night cycle in this game. I forgot about that. Not only is a day-night cycle, but there's also a calendar system with seasons as well. Oh, and certain monsters only appear on certain seasons and certain days and certain nights. Exciting stuff. So we have some various vendors here, armor and potions and stuff like that. We should probably look at the iron guy. I want to see if they've changed him. That would be a no. He is still a dancing fool.
Welcome.
Well, awesome.
Lots of wares to browse.
So we can buy all the traditional stuff. The magic rope is used for escaping dungeons. Cup of Wishes is Phoenix Down. Medicinal herb is your way of getting rid of status ailments. Fairy walnut is mana restoration. And candy is the primary way of restoring health. At least early on with the basic stuff. What have you got to say? The price keeps going up. I better stock up now. Yes, I agree. Especially in today's climate. If they've got toilet roll, hide it behind the counter, that's for sure. Kind of want that little hat so we can dress up as lewdly as the first people we encountered in the wizards area. What do you have?
Welcome.
You're the armor guy. The armor there is trash. You can see the equipped items there on the near the NPC stomach, and over there to the left is what we have. So the stats are terrible. As to be expected, this is a starting town. This is just for story purposes, and we'll not come back to this place until much later in the game, if I remember correctly. The NPCs are pretty much all tutorial guys telling you to go to the tavern, and yeah, so let's go there indeed. Try planting seeds in magic pots. If you're lucky, you may grow a good item. Here we go. So magic pots. If you find a seed, try planting it in an inn's magic pot located near the front desk. You can grow items and equipment from various types of seeds. The pot will level up the more seeds you plant, and the higher your magic pot level is, the better your chance at getting good items from the item seeds. Enemies will drop more seeds more often as well. So we actually have 4. So let's plant these and see what we get. I believe this is completely RNG. It's the flower. We get ourselves medicinal herb, Sahagin chip, fairy walnut, and a honey elixir. Brilliant. And we got like 10% of a bar into level 1 there. So not too bad. We have... Who we got over here? No, don't hit the old man. Fortune teller's in town. I came to get my fortune told, but it was a bust. Why don't you ask her? I mean, it might also be a bust. Let's talk to you.
Ma'am, I don't know what to do. Please, give me guidance.
Those eyebrows.
People lose any last spark of hope and fall into the deepest despair. When that happens, you must go to Holy City Wendel and seek advice from His Eminence, the Priest of Light.
Those eyebrows, though.
Priest of light.
To find your way through the darkness of despair, you will need a guiding light. Go to Wendel, child. That is your fate.
Huh? Come on! This fraud told me the same thing. Go to Wendel or whatever. All I asked was whether my next child was going to be a boy or a girl.
Well, probably find out in Wendel, won't you? Ignorant child. Those eyebrows, though. They look like little mustaches that she was growing on a face for people who can't grow mustaches. Like surplus. That's her trade. She just fronts as a fortune teller. She's actually selling mustaches off the back of a truck somewhere.
Wendel, huh? I don't know what awaits me there, but I guess it's bound to be better than getting caught here in my own kingdom. I'll go. I mean, nothing could possibly be worse than staying cooped up in the castle.
Titania?
And if I learn how to handle my magic, maybe my mother will welcome me back. There's a chance, at least.
Not a chance. Not in the slightest. She wanted to gut you a few minutes ago. I doubt that's changed in the last hour. There we go. We're off on a mission. Bit of an interlude. There's the boat that we saw.
With the Queen's rejection, Angela left Altena as a wanted criminal with a price on her head.
There we go. So far these cutscenes have been incredible. Let's talk over this since there's no dialogue then, by the looks of it. What an incredible intro to the game. Obviously, there's a different intro depending on what character you choose and different narrative and storyline and all that stuff. Look at the quality of these cutscenes. So far, even the small cutscenes have been voice acted surprisingly quite well. It's not too cringy so far. I was expecting a bit more cringe, but it's pretty good so far. The lip animations are pretty good. They're quite well synced. They're not going to be perfect because this is a Japanese game, but look at the animations, the facial features they're changing. How much of a priss Angela is on this boat, not wanting to get involved or get her hands dirty. You can really get a lot more from the characters from just facial expressions and desire in the way that they stand and look than they can ever tell in a 90s RPG. So in that regard, it's a massive improvement, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much further they progress with that. So next up, we should be, what is it called? Jad, I think, the first port. Oh yes, I'm looking forward to this indeed. So yeah, I do want that little gif of the Rabbi jumping after the mushroom there. Need that for my Discord for sure. Here we are. There's those trumpets. Much better than the MIDI versions, I can assure you. Oh, look at that dude. Oh, these are the Beastmen, I thought, if I remember correctly. Pushing people around.
Jad? Belongs to Ferolia. Don't resist, and we may spare you.
Damn it, Ludgar. I remember that dude.
Ferolian forces have taken the town and closed the docks. Now my ship's stuck in the harbor until who knows when.
Well, time to exploit the town then and find its riches.
On! Now how am I supposed to get to Wendel? I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't like the look of these beastmen at all.
Okay, so medicinal herb. Let's go looting. I'm sure they've got plenty of stories to tell us about how they're under the impression. I'm scared. What do you say? Oh, I was talking to your sister. You with those invaders? Well, you can get out of here with the rest of them. How rude. I'm not scared. Clearly you are. You're stuttering, sir. Eee. And I'm just making stupid noises. So I'm looking for all kinds of objectives and little hidden items. Ah. There appears to be pots up there. I shall come for you, pots. It is the last thing I do. But first we must exploit these villagers by stealing their chocolate. That's my objective as Angela. Sleep through major events in life and obtain chocolate. lucre. You can never have too little lucre or too much lucre. You always need to have plenty of money to buy more chocolate. So yeah, these games, you explore, you find things. I'm going to be addicted to finding all of the things. I'm going to try and resist as much as humanly possible, but it's going to be difficult for me, okay? This is what you do in these sorts of games. You should see me play Dragon Quest. Oh my goodness. Dragon Quest Echoes of an Elusive Age. Incredible game if you've ever played it. Lots of pots and items, much like this game. All ripe for the picking. Yes, loot is definitely an addictive thing in many games. This is certainly another one of them. I'm sorry if my camera work is a little bit jarring to a lot of you. I know that some people get motion sick when I do previews of items on Final Fantasy XIV, so I can imagine this would be just an sort of escalation of that situation. But, you know, I can only apologize enough. So these dudes are beastmen, and they're oppressing the locals, quite rightfully so. I mean, if you have the power, why not? I'm just stealing their money. I'm doing their job for them. Hello there. Don't bark if you can't handle the bite. With that hair, you shouldn't be saying that, sir. Not at all. They're going to just tell me to go away if I try to go through there, no doubt. Any more goodies? I don't want to go in that room quite yet. Especially if there are some bits and pieces. Why am I walking past a vase? No vase should be left unsmashed. This is the rule of Zelda. The original competitor to the Mana series in general. That's the whole reason I believe that Seiken was created, I think. Seiken Densetsu. Mostly as a competitor to Nintendo's mascot of Zelda. And it did a decent job. It wasn't as successful, but there is a cult following for these games. There's one over there. As there should rightfully be. It's a fantastic series of RPGs. If you've never played the originals, I would advise it. But of course, you know, I'm the person that's not completed this game in particular, and I'm trying to save it for this experience. I think that's all of the items I'm probably going to get. I'm not sure I can make that jump. Yes, I can. Oh yeah, skills to pay the bills. Let's go in here then and see what's happening. Played this section of the game before, though. That shouldn't come as any surprise. Oh yeah, this is where we get introduced to characters that you're not supposed to recognize, I suppose, until later in the game. But yeah.
It might not be my place to meddle, but you should stay inside when beastmen are around. Leave once it's dark instead. You pay less attention to little things like guard duty at night. I'm free until then, if you're looking for some company. Or not. Don't worry, I was joking. See?
Yeah. Yeah, you're a creepy guy, but who wouldn't want to hang out with Angela, really? So yeah, there's lots of little bits where you can miss characters. It was a lot easier to miss them in the original game because they were just little sprites. But obviously now...
Pardon me. My younger brother is missing, and I must find him as soon as possible. Have you perchance seen a little lost boy around here?
I've seen plenty, but I don't think any of them fit into that category.
I see. Thank you, anyway.
You're welcome. So that's Riez, or Riz, as you might pronounce her. There's no voice acting in the original. I could pronounce it how I want to. People are going to complain about the pronunciation of characters. Well, suck it. Honestly, it's Chocobo, not Chocobo.
Like humans during the day, but at night, they transform into animals. Don't leave the house after dark. You hear? Hey, if you're trying to leave the city, night is actually best. Once the beastmen transform, they lose their better judgment. The whole lot of them tend to get together and brawl amongst themselves until dawn. It's easier to sneak out of the city then. Good luck.
Oof, beasties.
If it's easier to sneak around at night, I'll just go to the inn and rest until then. I am not about to risk my complexion by staying up all night.
You see, that's why I love Angela. Her backstory is basically she's a priss. She was mistreated and now she just wants to focus on everything that's just cute and fluffy in the world and ignore everything else. And if anything bad happens, you know what you do? You sleep through it. That's a woman after my own heart right there. Ooh, magic pot. We don't actually have any seeds. Damn. Looking for a place to rest? No charge. Can't do business with these beastmen in town anyway. Alright then. Let's sleep it off. Truly the best solution. Here we go. Look at that moon. That's a beautiful looking moon. So in the light of full moon, these guys change into beasties. Which are a lot more furry looking than I expected. My goodness, I don't remember them looking quite as intense as that, but there we go. There's the beastmen. Quite muscular, purple-haired dudes. Escape Jad, I would love to. Let's get our Metal Gear Solid theme going. And let's get cracking. Apart from there's people in broad daylight. Well, night light. What are you doing out? Are the scary people gone now, Mama? Mama says, where did the beastmen run off to? They left so suddenly. And you say, I suppose the stories of beastmen changing forms were true all along. I could still hear them outside the town. Outside the town, you say? Well, that's pretty much where we're going, so let's go and have a peek. See what the beastmen are up to. Hopefully nothing too NSFW, because then they would not be in this video. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the storyline conclusions. Again, I've never finished this, so yes, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing all the areas as well. Look at this place. This is none other than Rabbi Forest. Lots of these cute fluffy boys around, bouncing around. Oh, we got some mushrooms as well. Hanging out. Oh, there's the cave. This brings back a lot of memories, a lot of nostalgia. This is really, really cool. We've got this beautiful night scene here. If we look back at the town there, see the beautiful wall with the flags. Yes, what a beautiful seaside town. So the objective is telling us to go that way. Oh, we got some wolfy boys that need to be pummeled. Angela is not a fan of the old canine, especially when some of them are taking over the town. Let's have a look here. So we can save if we want to. We don't need to save right now, or mana or health is fine. Nice little beach here with palm trees, some coconuts. Oh, and some shinies. Always hiding the shinies behind the coconuts. So I'm going to try and pick up some bits and pieces. This isn't going to be a 100% playthrough or anything like that. Oh, Stardust Herb. What does that do? That dispels any ally magic effects. Ooh. Wonder what that would work on then. And we missed a shiny here. Yeah, I'm not going to go for everything, but if I do see something noticeable, I'm going to pick it up. Please don't try and backseat me in the comment section. I know it's hard to resist, especially if the streamer or person recording a video walks past something like that treasure chest over there. If I hadn't have seen that, I might have walked past it. And obviously, the hindsight is a wonderful thing, but we don't have that ability when we're playing through. I always watch live streams myself of people playing games like this and they miss something. And yes, I know how frustrating it can be. Won't have a cup of wishes. But again, you don't have to grab everything. I'm going to try and pick up what I see, but I'm not going to go out of my way to go too crazy. You know, this is a playthrough. It's not going to take forever. People will only moan if it does. Oh, we're in battle already. Oh, Buzzy Bee or Assassinate? Assassinate. Yes, Assassin Ant, probably, but yeah. Cool. But yeah, we're going to do our best. Still pummeling these guys with sticks feels weird, but, you know, we're going to be blown to pieces with spells much later in the game. And there'll be more of them, and they get more and more powerful as we go on. Monster variants are always pretty cool in these early 90s RPGs, especially with the Mana series. They came up with some crazy stuff. And you might see some returns from, obviously, Final Fantasy. If you've never played a Mana game, then you'll see a lot of repeated creatures. There are even references in some of these games to chocobos and other things. Yes, I know I said chocobo. I have to say these things for videos because people don't know how to deal with my pronunciation of chocobo, etc. But, you know, I'm learning. I'm joking. It's all fun. Pronounce it how you want to at the end of the day. There's no right or wrong. Well, there is probably a wrong, but I don't listen to these people. Come on. I do YouTube. If I listen to everybody that ever said anything, then it'd be a pretty terrible situation. I don't think any videos would ever be made if I listened to the comment section's negativity all the time. Here we are, level 3. Let's get cracking. Now, this is off the beaten path. Oh, we gotta have a look. We gotta have a sneaky peeky. Otherwise, people will melt my face when I don't look. There you go. See, look. Nice shiny item seed. We can grow more items with that. 50 lucre or lucra. Don't really care how it's pronounced. It's money. And we'll need a bit of it for the later stages of the playthrough, no doubt. There's another statue there. Okay. Do we go this way? Why not? Should we have a look what's here? More monsters to pummel, to beat into oblivion. I keep forgetting we have this double slash ability. Oh, it does a nice AoE there. All 3 of them got hit, but only 2 got whacked. Make sure we clean that up. Make sure we keep sprinting, make the most out of the time we have. Make sure we don't miss stuff like this. Could have very easily missed that treasure chest, which has chocolate in it. That's going to be pretty useful as a health restoration item later. Although I have a habit of going through these sorts of games and never using any of the healing abilities, or at least relying too heavily on healing abilities from player characters. I don't know if you're the same, but you go through these sorts of games and you just get addicted to using, you know, a separate set of abilities, and you forget that items are a thing, or you get fearful of using too many of them, and then you end up with a stack of them at the end of the game. I remember Final Fantasy VII, my first playthrough when I was a kid of that game, just basically resulted in me having stuff left over, like potions from disc 1. You know, I bought grenades and never used them. The speedrun of 7 actually uses grenades because they hit harder than normal abilities, but that just goes to show why you should use abilities in a playthrough instead of hoarding them like a dragon. But it's very hard to get out of the habit of doing that. And you probably won't see any different here from me in this playthrough. I get very addicted to just smashing things up and not focusing too heavily on the ifs and the whats, but more of the let's just get to it, you know. There we go, some more XP. So we're getting tons of XP. It's a bit laborious. We're not doing the main storyline progression here, but we'll get to that in a bit. It won't be too long, I promise you. These are statues. I believe you can't do anything with them until later. That's right. I think they might react to spells. I can't remember exactly. Good. Get rid of these mushrooms and mushbooms out of the way so we can access the shiny there. That's a shame. I thought I was going to go for the AoE, but didn't see he was behind my player character there. Annoying. Oh my god. We can lock on. I keep forgetting we can lock on. It's a third-person action RPG. We should lock on and do more damage. Can we pick up the item instead of slashing? That's great. Awesome. So we have a little NPC to talk to over here. Now, this guy did have a cutscene originally, so...
No one believes me, but I saw it. A strange light was floating over the lake. Maybe it'll appear tonight, too.
Huh. Interesting. They voice acted that guy. He's completely optional. You don't really see him unless you come here before going to the town. So that's kind of interesting that they decided to voice act some characters that aren't really that important. But yeah, I look forward to more of that. So far, this has been exceptional. From the music, the voice acting's not been too bad. It's not been too cringy. Yeah, impressive. Very impressive. The combat is something that really blows my mind, though. There's a smile from ear to ear on my face as I'm smashing through these enemies that, honestly, I didn't think I would enjoy quite as much as I am. Oh, we don't want to do that battle. Let's run away from that one. There we go. I'm glad the runaway mechanic's still in the game. If that wasn't here, then some of this would be very, very laborious indeed. Especially when it doesn't seem to be, well, at least not at this stage in the game. We don't really need a grind. We don't need to farm for experience. Let's go and have a look. Oh, please. I want those pots. Here we go. So let's go over here. Oh, yeah, this is the cave. Ooh, the camera is fixed here. I can't change it. That's interesting. For that cinematic view of a waterfall. Oh, yeah. There's an invisible force blocking the way. Very, very cool. Oh, Jesus. I didn't actually mean to press forward. I think what she was going to say, if I remember, was there's an invisible barrier. We have to find out who put it on here. Let's go to the nearby town. But I walked into it twice, like a buffoon. I apologize. Whoops. Let's go to the town then. and we'll have a look at what this looks like. I've got high hopes. There we go then. So a little tip there on ring menus. We know how to do that. The up arrow and the down arrow to access moves. And up is our ring menu. We've looked at that already, game. Come on. Let's get past these loading screens. Oh, look at that. Oh, that looks exceptional. This is Astoria. This is a place that, well, I really liked this place when I first came to it in the playthrough. Looks nice. Typical sort of 6th house fashion for a 90s RPG. I really do like that. How they haven't really changed too much. Very, very nice indeed. So let's pick up the shinies. That's what we're here to get, isn't it? One candy here, candy there, you name it. This is the lakeside town of Astoria. Thank you for telling me, old man. So let's get some loot. These people won't miss this loot. I'm sure it's not like little Timmy needs these lucre for his pocket money. Not where he's going anyway. Bit of foreshadowing there. A bit creepy. Though my inner creepiness is being channeled by this game. It's probably how hostile I'm being to those rabbis. The inner demon is awakening. There we go. Some more. Ooh, item seed. Magic rope. Oh, we missed an item. How bad of us. How did we miss that? We walked straight past it. Oh, hello. Oh, day-night cycle. We now have daytime. It is Salamando Day. It is the fieriest of days. Nice and warm. Let's get that. There we go. Another medicinal herb. That jumping sound is incredible. I love it. Eee! Quite addictive. A lot of these characters, these NPCs, will be brooding over things and give you backstory. Whee! Well, that's not the best backstory. Let's see here. Curses! I managed to get away from Jad, but now I'm stuck here because of that barrier. Now I'll never get home to Wendel. Take down the barrier? Hey, buddy, if you figure it out, let me know. I'm going to spend the night here, I guess. Finding a way home is a problem for future me. That's how I look at solutions as well. Let someone else deal with it in the future. You could stay the night here too. Maybe the barrier will magically disappear overnight. You never know. Don't tell that to Angela. She sleeps way too much as it is. Give me that lucre. That's sweet, sweet money. Oh, hello. Didn't see you down here. Another item seed. Don't mind if I do. Have we got anything here? Any secrets? Any shinies? Yes, there is a shiny. I know how game development works. We hide things in plain sight, and then we complain when our consumer doesn't actually find all of the secrets. And then they complain that they can't complete a section of a game, and we reiterate that they've missed something. Yes, I hear these stories way too often. And if you are a game developer, then you know all about those problems, those first world issues. It's nice that we can splash around here, isn't it, Angela? Lovely. Get our feet wet on this toasty Salamando day. Beautiful. Smash this pot there. There's a shiny there as well. Sorry if this is boring. I do collect shinies. And I imagine that people will try to backseat me if I don't anyways. So, you know, there's that. Is there any hidden shinies behind a rock? No. But there's a shiny over here. Hello, Mr. Shiny. I do like my shinies. There's probably some in the buildings that I've missed as well. Empty building. I think not. There we go. Medicinal herb. Yes. Addictive, but fun. Let's see. What have you got to say, young lady? Well, old lady. You used to be able to go through Cascading cavern to the east to get to the other side of the lake. Unfortunately, Wendel's closed it off to keep their city safe. Oh. Head to the inn. So Angela, in that 5 seconds, has just decided, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to sleep it off. I can't really say I blame her too much. I mean, I would love to blame her, but, you know. Ooh, I see pots. Give me those pots. Can I jump up here? Oh, we jump on the sack. Come on. You know you want to let me have those sweet, sweet pots. Don't tease me like this game. There we go. Don't think we can access this anyway. There's no point in really going in many of these item places. It'll just be more of the same. I think up until the next major town. I think Wendel, we get some decent weapon upgrades, but until then, there's not really much point. I know that's a bit kind of spoilerific, but I have played through this game before, and I do remember at what point we need to get items. Can we grow some more, actually, whilst we're here? Yes, we can. We can grow 6 item seeds. Let's do that. Let's see what wonderful items we get given. Firstly, we get a fairy walnut, a spectre eye, a fairy walnut, and a Poseidon claw. So these are items we can use. Fairy walnut, ghost eye, and that's it. And we got a big chunk of XP. We're up to just nearly halfway. Not too bad. Welcome. So there's a day-night cycle. We need to rest until the evening, I believe, for this one. A nap until nightfall, I see. Sleep well. So there's a cutscene that should happen here. I already know about this, so let's watch and find out. Nice and cozy, though, this town. Ooh. I wonder what this could be.
Huh?
Why is it waking me up at this time? I know that feeling. Way too often. Every day.
What's that?
Yes. At this time. It's usually a car light, though. Going past the house. There we go. Mystical light. Chase the strange light. Now, the music is beautiful at night, especially in towns.
What? That weird light was definitely magical. Maybe if I follow it, I'll find the mage who cast it.
There's good reasoning if you think about it. I mean, someone's going to have cast it, right? This ball of energy. Not sure why it's snooping around, though. But we'll soon find out. I'm not going to spoil that. Do 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 do. Do do do. I love the music in this game. Should we grind? How are we doing? Level 3? We should probably get to level 4. But these are level 1 monsters. Does it really matter that much? Kinda, but kinda not. I'm just pummeling them with the heavy attack there. Well, we're close to dinging, but we're quite a ways off. All right, let's follow the wisp. Let's do an attack. We should be able to hit 2 here at least. Oh, there's the third, but we didn't get the whack on the third there. It doesn't seem to reduce the amount of damage you do either. So if you line them up, you can do some serious damage. Very nice indeed. Yes, we've got all of that loot. Just checking we've not missed anything. Oi, get down here. Oi, I said get down. There we go. Lots of aerial moves. This won't be a problem when we get magic, obviously, later in the game, and ranged abilities on characters. But for now, jumping up and hitting them is the best thing we have. I think there's items like throwing daggers and stuff we can find, but that's not really accessible, I don't think, right now, nor is it really that advisable. Buying consumables doesn't seem like a wise investment early on in the game. It's not like it's going to change much. We can get our health restoration back, though. That's always nice. Lovely, lovely. What have we got over here, then? Ah, yes. A cutscene. Boom. Just sort of thuds to the ground. Interesting. So, is there any secrets? No, we got that earlier. Some mushrooms. I don't really care about the mushrooms. They can go to hell. What about you? Yay. Adorable. Oh, that's a really cute model. Wow.
I'm all right. Oh, who are you?
Nice voice acting.
I'm Angela, a magician from Altena. I saw the light from Astoria's inn. I see. I have no other option. So I suppose you'll do. Hold on. What? Oh, never mind. I'll tell you later. Please, I need you to take me to the Priest of Light in Wendel. I can't fly any further on my own.
That is where I'm headed, so I don't mind taking you with me. But there's a barrier around the cavern. I think we're stuck here for now.
I can get us through the barrier. But we need to hurry. Something has happened to the Sanctuary of Mana.
The Sanctuary of Mana? Wait.
Ooh, vibration. That caught me off guard.
That came from Astoria. What happened? I need to go back.
Oof.
Oh, we need to get going. Let me rest inside you for a bit. You won't see me, but don't worry, I'm still here.
Whoa, wait, what?
Don't delay. We must see to Astoria.
Her voice is in my head?
Hurry.
Fine.
Yep. Get used to that. You take Fairy with you. Not that we had any real choice in the matter. Oh well.
So, why are you heading to Wendel?
I don't know what to do anymore. I'm looking for answers.
Oh, I see you haven't had an easy time yourself.
Yes, so Fairy is part of the storyline that joins with you and basically ends up enhancing a lot of your abilities, if I remember correctly, throughout the story. So that's going to be fun. The storyline is really good in this. I fell in love with it the first time, but not enough to finish it because I saw Visp released and yes, greed got the better of me for sure, for certain. The music is fantastic in these old games, aren't they? Ah, especially when they're remade like this. Full orchestrated stuff should be done for all of the 90s games. Oh, here we go, look. Ooh, yeah.
What happened? Where is everyone?
This looks like the work of beastmen.
How terrible.
There is no time to waste. We have to get to the Priest of Light as soon as possible. Oh, Wendel is in danger.
Yep, they absolutely decimated this town. The music's changed as more somber tone, as you can tell. With those bells reminding me a little bit like Sephiroth's theme tune. But on the plus side, there's lots of shinies to pick up. One thing I was thinking about when I first saw these things, maybe they represent the souls of the dead. I know it's a bit grim to think about, but if you think about it, it makes kind of sense. Well, a nice little chest here. Like, all of these items, if it was like Dark Souls, it represents a fallen soul on the floor. Kind of grim, but I suppose we're getting all of these items somehow. I mean, we just did loot the place and now there's more items, so I think some of the people survive. I think in the plot line they got captured, but there's definitely some that got killed, I think. So yeah, this sort of stuff happens throughout the game as well. We get these little changes in environment as we progress. Things change, and it's very Final Fantasy and a very almost like prior to the phasing tech that we see in MMOs today. You know, this is how they used to do it. They used to just basically have separate chapters, or at least separate maps that load depending on what's happened. Like in Final Fantasy VI, the World of Ruin, for example, you know, it was a separate area they completely had. It wasn't just layered technology, which is a lot more work if you think about it. Whereas in phasing in modern games, you can basically provide that instantaneously. And the original map is still there. You just overlap on top of it. And that's how games like World of Warcraft and indeed Final Fantasy XIV do it. It's just layered tech now. But old games like this, where they had separate maps, yeah, it's a lot of extra work. So I really appreciate the work and effort that's gone into coding this game and designing it. It's absolutely beautiful as in terms of a remake, especially. Wow. So yeah, a lot of the items are pretty much where they were when we first came here, which is why I'm able to find them. 100 lucre, that's pretty good. Wow, that's a lot. But, yeah, this town's pretty much done for, and so are the people in it, as you can see. And this happens throughout the storyline, giving you bits of revenge plots and incentives to build the character. And each of the characters has a different story that all sort of pivots off of this main arc of the Mana Stones themselves. And the characters eventually meet up halfway through, and, you know, you have that sort of culmination towards the end of the game. So all we have to do here is go through Cascade Cavern. There's not really any worry at level 3. We're nearly at level 4 anyway. We're just going to go through here. Woo!
So impatient.
Oh, come on.
Give me a moment. I'll get rid of the barrier.
Why didn't you do that before I ran into it? Yeah, fairies. Tricksy little things. You could never trust them as far as you could throw them. And I can imagine you'd throw them pretty far. There we go. Thanks for that, fairy. Appreciate the help. There. So welcome to Cascade Cavern. Ah, I remember this place. So I would imagine this is a place, if you were on a hard mode playthrough, you'd want to grind in here. There's lots of tight mobs stuck together in tight corridors in large packs. Very beautiful place, though, by the looks of it. Wow. Oh, look, goblins. Oh, no. I forgot about the goblins, and they've got some shrooms with them there. And the bloody bats. Oh, wow, they're quite cute, actually, the new models. Very nice. So, yeah, this is a place you would grind for XP for certain. Monsters respawn in this game, as you would imagine. Just leave areas and revisit, and they'll all respawn. Great place to grind if you're looking for experience. We're primarily just trying to get through this storyline for a video, though, so we're not going to focus too heavily on level or anything. I don't think it's going to be too difficult anyway. This combat is a lot of fun. These area of effects are cool. Straight from Final Fantasy XIV there. So you get time to move from them, but obviously if you stand in them for too long, they go off. Look, so we're going to dodge roll out of that and avoid it. Still got pretty hard there. Hit really, really hard. We're a bit under-leveled, maybe? Could do with a heal, maybe. But honestly, I don't think there's any point in healing right now. If we look at the mini-map there does appear to be those angel statue nearby. I think it's a gold one as well, so we can restore there. Again, I'm not using our... well, there's a chest over there as well. I'm not using our healing items if I don't have to. Which means I'll probably end up with tons of them at the end of a playthrough. Let's save the game as well whilst we're here. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Okay. What's down here? This way, I think. Mushrooms. Hello, mushrooms. How are you doing? Would you like to be beaten to death? Wow, you take a lot of damage, don't you? Let's use some abilities on you. Get this done with a bit quicker. That was just decimated. Oh, we don't want to fall asleep. Well, okay, very nearly. If I had got hit by that, I think I would be put to sleep, and you're not able to use actions until they hit you, or the sleep debuff disappears. So that would be pretty annoying, as you'd imagine. Cool. Okay, we're level 4, finally. Things should start to scale a little bit better now. If you've already noticed, there's quite a big, drastic amount of scaling. One level is huge in this game. Ooh, the blue pots replenish our what is it? The SC bar or whatever, our special meter. So we need to grab those. If we see those, basically gives us free attacks when we want them. Dodge roll behind you. Yeah, get wrecked. There we go. Look at that water. Oh, wow. Sometimes it's the little things that really make up a game. They've really, really thought about this. It's very, very beautiful. Right, get out of the way, mushroom. Come on. Out of the way. I've got things to do. People to see. Oh, God. Right, let's... can we get a double hit? No. We did a jump for some reason there. They are pretty much a gap closer as well because there are auto attacks, right? You have these invincibility frames, rather, when you enter into them, so you can't be attacked, or at least an attack can't seem to hit you. or doesn't appear to hit you when you're in that action. So that's pretty neat. Oh yeah, this is the cave room with the bats. I remember this. Just a pack of bats. Lots of them. This is where you would grind definitely on your playthrough if you did hard mode. If you needed XP, that is. Because they may hit like an absolute potato, but they provide a lot of XP. They are annoying, though, for a non-ranged character at this point, which obviously is an issue. We have to keep jumping up and hitting them, but it doesn't take too long to get the XP required to level. It would help if I actually locked onto them, I think, though, eh? Oh, wow. Let's pause the game by going into the menu and use a candy on us there to replenish some of our health. Let's try and actually hit the damn bats. Come on, bats. Oh, that's just painful to watch. There we go. Sorry about that. I feel like I have to apologize for my inept play. But then again, how many people really play a game and talk as much as I do? Quite a few people, actually. It's very hard to do. I don't know if anybody's ever tried that. Some of you might be streamers, quite successful ones, but you really have to think about what you're talking about at the same time as trying to pull off moves. Especially when you've got status ailments and effects to worry about and things to dodge roll out of. Basically, my hat is off to anybody who talks frequently on a live stream of something like Dark Souls, because as much as the rest of us can play Dark Souls, and I love that game series, I can't imagine playing through it with full narration. It would be quite tricky, indeed. Come on, bat. You're getting real tiresome now. There we go. Awesome. All that for probably some chocolate. What have we got? A couple of wishes. That's actually not bad. That's worth. I don't feel quite as bad now for doing that. If it was just chocolate, though, I would have probably felt a bit terrible. So here we go, then. I believe this is the entrance to the cave. No? Where are we now? Oh, yes. Well, there's our first companion. Let's help them out. Oh, God.
Oh, I thought it was Altena, but you saved me. I'm Charlotte. I'm a famous beauty from Wendel.
Oof.
Hey, what are you doing all alone in a dangerous place like this? But
You're not even saying what's there on the subtitles. It's wah. Come on, channel your inner Luigi. Wah. Wah. Oh, interesting. You can experience the previous journey of your new companion, Charlotte. Play through their past. You cannot save during a flashback chapter. Any items obtained during this flashback will be lost. So I get to choose no here. That's a really cool sort of feature. If you want to play through their storyline, then I guess you get to play through them as you wish. This is very much how Octopath Traveler does it as well, if you've played that game. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. That's really, really cool. Thank you, Square Enix, for including that, but we're not going to do it on this playthrough, obviously, because we're limited for time.
No parents, but there was one priest in Wendel that was always nice to me. Heath was kind and helpful. He took care of me. My grandpa asked Heath to go to Astoria to look into something for the temple, but I got a really, really bad feeling about it.
Oh, for W's.
I didn't want anything to happen to Heath, so I followed him in secret and didn't tell Grandpa when I left the temple that night. By a horrible twist of fate, a creepy-looking man took Heath away right when I finally found him again.
That's closer to a wah, at least.
And then I couldn't even get back to Wendel because of the barrier until you opened a path through the cavern for me. I got a little lost on the way. down. If you hadn't been there,
Then we would have been spared from this cutscene.
it
No?
would have been good night, Charlotte. That was close.
Quos. Yes.
Oh, stop crying. I'll take you with me, okay? First fairy, now this little girl. Give me a break.
You have a break every 5 minutes.
Well, I'm on my way to Wendel to see the Priest of Light anyway. You might as well tag along. Come on. Oh, you want to see Grandpa? Why didn't you say so? You didn't know it, but you helped your chances. I'm actually the granddaughter of the Priest of Light. Come on, Slowpoke. I'll take you to my grandpa. Now, it's off to Wendel.
Yay.
Fantastic.
My thoughts exactly. Charlotte joined the party. Oh, goodness. So Charlotte has a real problem with putting W's in everything.
Wendel is straight ahead. Come along, recruits. Follow me. Excuse me. I don't remember signing up for anything.
So now we have the ability, as it says, to switch character with the ZR button. Or the LR button or whatever it is. And yeah, so let's get onto the other screen and we can show off some of Charlotte's abilities. She uses a flail. So yeah, it's that mean looking like nunchaku type mace. Lots of really cool powerful striking attacks there. Lots of flurries, and I will be turning her into a healer. Let's give her some spells. So let's first finish you off. We need to get you enough for Holy Bolt. And we also need to get your intellect up a little bit there. There we go. Cool. We got MP +5. And we got Holy Bolt for when we have it. We have no way of learning it right now. That's later on. Let's see. Healing Light. Let's get that for later. Nice. We got CS boost. 5% of your CS gauge when healing an ally's health in battle. And MP +5 and Healing Light. And we have equip abilities. So we have this here. And we have ability slots to put in what we want. I don't believe we got any abilities for you. No, we don't. Cool. And we should probably sort your strategy out, shouldn't we? So let's have you attack the same enemy. Yep. And then all out attack would be cool. Healing items plus that. Moves we should have all the time. I think that's how we'll have you set up for now. We'll just clear up a few of these on our way to the objective. Boom. More of those AoEs to avoid. This time line AoEs, so that's good. I'm quite impressed how well this game shapes up. It doesn't feel like an ancient game, you know what I mean? Like, I know it's from the 90s and they've remade it rather. But it doesn't feel necessarily like this was a game developed back then, which I think is a real good sign of a remake where you can improve on the original, or at least in some part. To bring it to new audiences is always good. A lot of people mistake Final Fantasy VII for not being too faithful to the original, but when it comes to remakes, I feel that game and this one seem to be as faithful as you could probably, cope with. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you can't add new things. So some people are freaking out about new characters being added to Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I see that as a benefit, really. You're adding to an original thing. If you can add something that's needed or wanted, like from different perspectives, a different situation, like we have with all of those 3D versions of the games that were predominantly RPGs that were focused on a 2D plane with like rendered backgrounds and then characters imposed on the front, then you can add anything you want, really. If it works in the storyline, then go for it, is what I say. And it's the same with this game. I don't know if they've added anything specifically. There's a lot of quality of life changes that are really beneficial. But yeah, so far it's been an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to the full version. My interest in this is higher than anything else at the moment. Apart from Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm looking forward to that as well. But yeah, so this is the holy city of Wendel, and we have to go down a series of paths to get there. Let's have a look at these treasure chests and other little secret items. 2 candies, totally worth it. Another little shiny over here. What have we got in here? Let's have a look. Is there a chest? No, we can't get down there. Okay. It was worth a look. What's this say? Spring stepper. Danger. Faulty spring stepper. No stepping. Oh. Yeah. Time change when it's now daytime in Dryad Day. Oh, there we go. So it may be broken, but it's teaching us how to use them. And as a reward, we get a Phoenix down or a Cup of Wishes, depending on how you want to sort of focus on that wording. Same thing, basically, at the end of the day. So the holy city of Wendel. Oh, look at that cat. That's adorable with a blue-tipped tail. Lovely big building. That's where we're going, obviously. This big church to meet the priest of light. Look forward to meeting him for sure.
City, right? I wonder what he's like. Thank you so much for taking me here. Hurry! We need to request an audience with His Eminence.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Charlotte, we promise His Eminence is not angry. Please stop hiding. So she's been hiding away from these people because she ran away. Troubled souls from across the world come here to Wendel seeking guidance. We're a neutral town and have no enemies. Alright, and let's pick up some goodies. 20 lucre will be... Oh, is that the cat? Hello, kitty. Can we pat you? Can we pet the kitty? Wow. Wow. Okay, cat's the best thing. Best feature of the game. I want a cat like that with a blue tail. It's adorable. Let's have a look if there's any secret treasure chests then, since we're here. Yes, more game development secrets that people will miss. Chocolate. See, I told you. Bar of chocolate is worth it, but not if you're going to put yourself in danger. Not too much, anyway. A bit of 80 lucre. Oh, an armor vendor. Let's go and get ourselves some swag new threads.
Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
Ooh, that's a massive increase. We'll get the silk robe. It's only 100. We'll equip that straight away. And we'll get sheep pajamas for Charlotte. With a 3 increase to magic. And 2 to physical. And whilst we're here, we can sell the stuff because Square Enix are amazing. In regards to menuing. Or at least I thought we could sell us stuff. Huh. Oh, it's because it's armor. What was I trying to sell?
Well, lots of wares to browse.
What was I trying to sell? Oh, I was trying to sell items. Derp. Right, so let's sell that cotton robe. We're not using that on a minor robe for 20. It all adds up at the end of the day. I'm not sure why I derped out there. But yeah, that's totally way easier menuing than the original. That took a few seconds. So people are going to be very happy with that, especially if they do speedruns of this game, which is always a great way of building a community. What are you doing here, Charlotte? Grandpa's probably mad at me. That's the best I can do, sorry. Yeah, he probably is mad at you. Oh, a doggo. Don't attack the doggo. Woof, woof. Alright, doggo. Chill out. It's all good. We're here now. We're here to save the day with our sleep pattern. That's the only thing that Angela really has to her benefit, isn't it? The ability to sleep through everything. In here we have a piece of chocolate. I'm going to get fat on chocolate and no one can stop me. Oh, yeah. Alright, here we are at the temple. Let's see if we can get a arranged visit with the priest of light and see what he has to say. Equip weapons and armor. Oh, yeah, we didn't get any weapons. Okay, remind myself to get weapons on the way out. That might help. Especially if we have to fight a boss. Ah, cutscene.
I think I'll wait out here. I left without telling Grandpa. He's probably really mad at me.
Probably. Charlotte had left the party. Yeah, it's probably for the best. What could a priest do? Well, I suppose, yeah, priest could do a lot of things. Judging by the playthrough of Heavensward in Final Fantasy XIV, heretics are everywhere, regardless of what you actually are. So, yeah, I could imagine a priest would probably not like being betrayed like that. Let's look at the sides of the building. There's always sneaky items hidden at the side of buildings if you've played these games before. Not that side, though. Interesting. Let's have a look over here. We'll go in there in a moment. I know, game. You're trying to push me in that direction. Ah! Eee! There we go. There appears to be an area down there as well. I think we can only get to that from the door inside. Don't know if we'll be fully exploring this in this demo. But, you know, what do you have to say? You may find His Eminence in a large temple in the center of the city. So, you mean this one? His Eminence is inside the Temple of Light. Yeah, so... whatever. Weird dialogue. Very weird. What have we got inside here, then? Lots of places to explore. Oh, jeez. We don't have time for that. It's already going to be over an hour long, this video. This is supposed to be me playing through the first section of a game. Alright, let's go talk to the priest then. See what he has to say. That's a long black screen. Jeez. I wonder what the PC's loading times are going to be like.
Please, accept the goddess of mana's blessings.
So you're the priest of light, hmm? You're plainer than I expected. I was hoping you might have some wisdom to share.
Yikes.
Whoa, wait.
Wait! I have something to say. Your Eminence, please listen. I have come from the Sanctuary of Mana to tell you that the mana tree is withering. Mana power grows weaker by the day.
Withering? But without the mana tree, the seals on the mana stones will break. The Benevodons will be released into the world.
Huh? What is that?
You're acting like this doesn't affect you. You've been chosen by Fairy. This means that you alone can retrieve the Sword of Mana from the Sanctuary.
What? There's no way. What does this mean, Fairy? I'm sorry. With the mana in the world so depleted, a fairy can't leave the sanctuary for long without a host. If I hadn't found you, I wouldn't have made it. Well, that's good for you, but what about me? I've had enough of this hosting business. Go haunt the old geezer instead.
Would that I were able to bear your burden. However, once a fairy finds a host, they are bound to them for their whole life. Only death can part them.
Okay, kill the fairy.
What? Sorry, but no way am I getting mixed up in this. I don't need any Sword of Mana. The true Queen of Altena wants the Sword of Mana, doesn't she? This is your chance to get it first, and to prove to her that you are strong in your own right. Hey, stop digging around in my thoughts without permission, Fairy. I can't believe this. What is this Sword of Mana anyway?
The Sword of Mana is the embodiment of the ancient power of Mana, guiding force of spirits. It is an alternate form of the golden wand used to create the world itself. The one who holds the Mana Sword gains awesome power. The sword lies in the roots of the Mana Tree, waiting. Before the Mana Tree withers completely, you must reclaim the sword and awaken the Goddess of Mana once more. She alone can bring peace to the realm and grant your wish.
My mother wants that sword. If I manage to get it first, she'll finally acknowledge my abilities. Okay then, where can I find the Sanctuary of Mana?
I am so sorry, but with mana so depleted, I don't have enough power to open the portal to the sanctuary, not by myself.
Throughout the world are 8 points of mana energy, mana stones, sealing away the fearsome Benevodons. If you activate the mana stones, the portal connecting our world to the Sanctuary of Mana should appear. Through that portal is the Sanctuary. However, you should know that the energy inside the 8 mana stones was sealed on purpose as the mana goddess began her slumber.
What should I do?
In ages past, there once was an ancient spell used to control the energy from the mana stones and bend it to the user's will. However, countries refused to allow each other any control of the spell and use of the mana stones. The war that followed caused unspeakable damage. It was nearly as destructive as the sealed Benevodons. The survivors cursed the magic to avoid future tragedy, and forbade anyone from using it. Now the life of any person who uses the spell will be forfeit. There is no longer anyone alive who knows how to work this cursed spell.
There may be one way. If we borrow the powers of the elemental spirits that reside near the mana stones instead, I can combine their powers with what remains of mine to open the portal for everyone.
Splendid! This is a relief. If you wish to find a mana stone, I've heard many say that the Lightstone is in Cascade Cavern, guarded by the elemental Lumina. It is the cavern you pass through in order to reach here. Take Fairy. With what remains of her power, she can help you find Lumina in the cavern. See if you may borrow his light powers.
And there we go then. The Priest of Light's Faith has granted you a new ability. Now this has given you chain ability. First one is HP boost, which is base HP increased by 30. So this is a shared ability, if I remember correctly. Chain abilities are used by all party members. Learn more abilities by allocating training points and meeting people along your journey. You may learn chain abilities from quite unexpected acquaintances. So if we go into the menu under training, you will see that certain abilities have that sort of chain, like 2 people holding hands sort of thing going on. You'll see that on limit break specifically here. Magic damage dealt increases by 5%. That works on everybody. So it's once you've learned it, basically everybody can learn it. That's how that works. So let's go straight into the storyline then. We need to go back to the caves. We're not going to do any of the extra content on this bit. I know a lot of people will be disappointed by that. But if you do want more lengthy sort of playthroughs in the future, if you want me to even continue, I will certainly consider doing that. I would love to do a playthrough of this game when it's finally out. Let's continue.
Don't leave me behind. I need to save Heath. I'm coming with you, whether you like it or not.
I mean, clearly we have no option there, do we, Charlotte? You have to join us anyway. I need you anyway. You're useful as a healer. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just trying to get straight through the storyline now. We've beaten around the bush a bit too much. But at the same time, the storyline is quite intense. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you're enjoying yourself. It's such a good game, and I want to give it the justice it deserves. So hopefully this preview of the demo is helpful to give you a good idea of whether or not you would want to buy the game. That's ultimately the sort of result I would like to go for. So let's go upstairs and get ourselves a weapon. I did remind myself internally that I did need a new weapon, especially since maybe we're slightly underleveled. I don't know. Level 4 is not too bad. So as you can see, that's 3 physical damage increase over our previous staff. And since we're doing physical damage, that's what we're going for right now. And we'll go for the wood flail as well, because that's +2. It's not too bad either. We'll equip those straight away. There we go. Now we can sell the gear that we just had. I mean, 25 isn't a lot, or 30. But it all adds up. We still got over 740 of those currency to spend on whatever we want in a later part of the playthrough, which is always helpful. So let's pound our way towards that cave as fast as we possibly can and see if we encounter the boss. Now that's the thing that I would personally want this demo to end on. I would imagine that's where it'll end, the first boss of the game. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they manage that in a 3D environment like this, in full 3D where you can rotate around, and see how many of his attacks are actually telegraphed. I saw from the previous trailer for this game, they showed a lot of telegraphs of some of the monsters, and I'm looking forward to seeing that stuff. So yeah, we've got to get our way through this cave. We're going to skip most of these first few packs, simply because we don't need the experience from them. There are much more powerful monsters further on, so let's go and trigger this next cutscene, and then there should be some new monsters.
Wait! Stop! There's mana power coming from the waterfall. See that strange hole? Further up. I bet Lumina is in there.
Okay, so our objective is to get to the top of that waterfall. Presumably. We're going to skip the back cave as well, simply because they're level 4. They would be beneficial, but at the same time, they're not that detrimental at this point. We're better off fighting the monsters that are relative to the next level up. And honestly, I don't think we're going to need to be that overpowered for the next boss. We just got some brand new items. Look at that staff, by the way. The visual appearance of weapons, at least, does change when you upgrade them. The armor doesn't, which is a sad point, but there's not many RPGs that do that anyway. But yeah, so let's watch this cutscene.
Is that the whole fairy was talking about? How do we even get over there?
Personally, I would try jumping, but that's just me.
Oh, right. I forgot you can't fly. I think I can use the residual mana power in the waterfall to get you over there. Let's give it a try.
Goodness. I was half expecting there to just be like an arm that teleports on its own, and one of these days she'll be low on power and we'll just end up with a corpse. And that's all that'll teleport over there without a head or something. So goblins, level 5. This guy has a shield on him. Wow, okay, my health. Hello. Let's regen. Obviously we didn't regen before. So this guy's shield has to be taken down, and then we can actually do some damage to him again. We need to definitely avoid his abilities because they're going to actually really hit us hard until we hit level 5, and then we should be synced to the sort of damage. And we've got decent armor and decent weapons, so we shouldn't be too bad. We should still be able to kill them in short sort of periods of time, rather. Let's make sure we get some of these healing items and money. Okay, that's the first bat out the sky. That's a good start. Let's pound him to death. It would be really, really nice to have spells right now, but we don't get them for a little bit of time. I think we get them soon, actually, after the first boss, which might be too late. I'm not really sure where this demo ends. So, yeah. When I previewed the game to see if it worked, I grinded out in the first couple of areas just to see what sort of level we could get. I think I ended up grinding to level 6 in the first area, but I didn't go any further than that, which is quite entertaining, I think you'll agree. But obviously things are locked behind story progression. It certainly is. Monsters are respawning. We're not that bothered about farming. Like I say, we're just going to hit things as we go through and avoid things where we can. Restore health for 3. Kill this goblin. There we go. I mean, we could use... I suppose we can use them. I want to save them for a boss, though, if there is a boss. Save that special meter. Because we'll probably make short work of him if we do that, right? Okay, that's that done. Ooh. Yes. These are zombies. Okay, it's been a while. These things hit like a truck, if I remember correctly. The point is that you're supposed to hit them before they end up killing you. Which shouldn't be too difficult. Let's see what's in this chest. Hopefully a healing item. Cup of Wishes, we'll take it. And then this will be an item seed. Awesome. Can't wait to grow more items. I'd like that feature, actually. That's quite nice. Why is that guy floating? Oh, he's not. He's just stood on a rock. Well, that's my rock now, friend. Get down from there. We're going to try and do ranged attacks, aren't they? Watch them up there. Try to avoid as many of those as possible. Oof. That one's got a shield on him. That's annoying. Maybe we should use one of these abilities just to get through the shield. There we go. He got absolutely flattened. I think you'll agree. We can't be too far off from level 5 now. Okay. Oh, no, I'm asleep. Wake me up, Charlotte. Wake me up. Or just pummel it to death. That works too. Sleep spore. The fact that I got hit by that and didn't roll out of it in time. How annoying.
Peace has returned.
That voice line. I bloody love it. So we have a save thing before the boss. Do we need to save? No, but we do need the health that it gives us for free. No, we're not going to save the game. No. We don't need to save. We're going to go in there and we're going to absolutely obliterate this. I'm really looking forward to this, and hopefully the boss music is just as good as the original. Oh, yes. There he is. Vibration from the controllers and all.
Would look so evil. No, this isn't the elemental we're looking for. It's a giant monster.
Okay, full metal hugger.
I feel mana power coming off of it.
Did this boot steal the mana power? Well, I guess we'll have plenty of time to figure this out once we defeat it.
Look at those AoEs. They're beautiful. This reminds me very much of a Final Fantasy XIV fight with all the conal AoEs that are going off. Very cool. And he did a jump AoE that we avoided simply by moving out the reticle. We are just going to spam abilities on him right now. Let's switch to Charlotte and use her Whack Bam, which does a decent amount of damage there. And then we'll do some more attacks. We've run out of special meter now. I-beam, so we can dodge roll out of that. Probably a good job that we did. That would probably decimate us. Holy Bolt Plus. Okay. Reticle to avoid. Ah. Come on. Give me that sweet, sweet death. We knocked out one of his eyes. Holy Bolt. Oh, the Holy Bolt chases you. So it's like that fight in Alamigo with the Scorpion tank. That's awesome. And we also have to pick up all of these little orbs. Looks like Charlotte's keeping him busy with that. Let's switch to her and quickly do the Whack Bam. Do some serious damage to him.
We're just about done here.
And then switch to Angela. And there we go. That was the boss fight. That was really fluid. I really, really enjoyed that. That was good combat. We were a little bit more powerful than I expected. It does feel a little bit easier, but perhaps if we had skipped more mobs earlier on in the game, that would have been a bit harder, and obviously there's a hard difficulty to think about. So we hit level 6, Charlotte didn't, which is really unfortunate. But there we go.
What is that?
Heyo, looking for Lumina? That'd be me.
Oh God.
A pleasure. And thanks for releasing me from the belly of that full metal meanie, am I right? Who knows what would have happened if you hadn't come. Fairy filled me in on your plight while you were fighting. Telepathy's great, huh?
This voice, though.
Just like Fairy, we elementals need mana to live. I'll help however I can to make sure we save the mana of the world.
Lumina, where is the Lightstone?
It's straight up from here, deep within the old ruins. But you can't exactly get there from here. Oh, no. It's safe, though. For now, at least. It's so unstable. It seems like the Benevodon could be unsealed at any minute. We gotta get the rest of the elementals on board and open the portal to the sanctuary.
And there we go. We gain Lumina's powers, which means that we have access to Holy Bolt now as Angela. Very exciting indeed.
Huh?
Ah.
Would you look at that? I think we found a shortcut.
Oh yeah, shortcuts. Really useful in dungeons for sure. Okay. So we have actually unlocked light elemental magic by getting Lumina, which includes Holy Saber, which is a spell you can cast if you actually went down the right tree with those abilities, with your action points there to get the ability to imbue your allies' weapons with light elemental damage, which is always awesome. We've got Healing Light, which will be primarily Charlotte's business, which is a healing spell, and Holy Bolt, which is our first magic attack of the game. So let's go straight into the menu and sort that out. So first of all, what do we have here? So she has Holy Bolt already. We can now get her up to Intellect +5. That's always useful. So we got 5 extra Intellect. We're not quite at limit break. We'd need another level for that. That's not a problem. We can mess around with Holy Bolt, though. I'd love to show that off before the demo ends. And we've got 1 point, which we can put into... We can put that into Spirit. There we go. Cool. And I believe that will be automatically added to us. So it says leave Cascade Cavern. Hopefully we get some mobs to just briefly demonstrate Holy Bolt on at least. Yeah, so we've got the healing and the save thing there. We're not too bothered about that. Let's attack this mob then. Let's target him. Go into the move menu, which pauses the game, and we'll use... actually, we'll use... Let's not use it on him. Let's use it on this one, simply because... the other one is immune with a shield. Actually, he's got the shield. Why are we targeting... Have they all got a shield? This guy doesn't. Okay, this guy's getting fried. Oh, wow. That's a lot of damage. That is definitely worth it. So we want to reduce the shield on this guy if we can. And then we unleash a Holy Bolt, which was interrupted, annoyingly. There we go. So yeah, that's really powerful. Obviously, it uses quite a ton of mana, but you know, it's basically a win condition. Using your mana bar as a powerful mage is always going to equal devastation. So we missed some items up here, but we'll get them on the way out. Not that it really matters. Oh, a circlet. Very cool. That's a nice item to equip. I believe that item can be equipped by anyone, but let's put that on Angela there. See if we can get this item, which is Lucre, always useful. Let's use Holy Bolt once more then, on a bat or something. How much mana do we need for this? Only 5, so we can use 2 more bolts. Knock that one out of the sky instantly. And then this guy's going to get fried as well. 80 damage. Fantastic. That's very tactile. I was hoping that the magic would be as fun as the melee combat, and it certainly is. I'm over the moon with this game. It's fantastic. I think we've seen all we need to see, so let's skip this battle, and this should be a cutscene for the final part of the game, for the demo at least. Oh god. Yeah, one of these days it's just going to be an arm that appears the other side. I can see it now. Get punted. That looks so much cooler in this version. Jeez.
What do you think you're doing?
Thanks for taking down the cavern barrier.
Ah, look,
Saved us
ah.
some trouble. Now, nothing's stopping us from invading Wendel. This is a present to show our appreciation.
This guy.
Let's get going.
Well, I hope you've got some decent healing magic, because this is gonna really cost you quite a bit.
Oh, what do I do?
Cry as loudly as possible so somebody who can heal them comes to rescue us. And there we go. Thank you for playing. This is the end of a demo, they say. We can transfer your demo save data to the full version of the game. You can continue to play the demo as any of the main characters, play with different party members, and see how the story changes. All I have to say is thank you so much to Square Enix for remaking this game. It's just a childhood piece of nostalgia that I've always wanted to finish, and I'm going to finally get the best possible chance to play through it with modern technology, allowing for such diverse changes, including that of new cutscenes. The facial animations are mind-blowing, the music is fantastic, and the gameplay is beautiful. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching me play through this. If you do want to see a full playthrough of this game, that is entirely on the cards if people want it enough. If people don't like that and they think that this was a complete waste of time and they want 2 hours of their life back, that's totally there as well. Let me know below what you think, and I'll see you all next time.